break down how we can use assertive communication in various situations. I want to start with how can we use assertive communication when the other person happens to use passive communication. When it comes to interaction, the passive communication style is probably your best, I guess, easiest style to collaborate with, just because they're already, they're already listening to you. They're already considering you in that sense. However, when we're assertive, we're acknowledging that other person, right? This is a great opportunity to encourage them to speak, just because they do not like conflict. They do not like expressing themselves in a sense, because they feel like, they don't want to rock the boat. This is a great opportunity to reaffirm that, know what? You are important and you have a right to share yourself. So let me listen. Tell me your thoughts, or even asking, is there anything you would like to see differently from me? Okay. That's saying, one, what would you like to see? You're establishing an expectation. But two, what do you need from me? This is my responsibility. So it's an assertive effort. Okay. So using the opportunity to just listen, encouraging them to talk, and reassuring them. Again, at the end of the day, even if you do not agree, it's all about acknowledging. When it comes to people who use passive communication style, they're already struggling with their sense of self-worth, their sense of worthiness. So this is a great opportunity to build them up, to reaffirm them. All they're really wanting is to be heard. This is a great opportunity to allow them to be heard. All right, now we get into the rough tumble of aggressive communication style. So how can we show assertive communication when the other person chooses to show aggressive communication? Okie dokie. Let's get into the consideration of the person who uses aggressive communication styles. It's interesting enough, a lot of leaders are considered to be aggressive. Again, aggressive is kind of like your take charge type thing. We get into aggressive where we're attacking people. It's coming from you're taking charge and you're expressing yourself, but it's at the expense of the other person. However, it's actually a sign of strength when we're able to articulate. With that being said, though, it is okay for you to stand your ground with an aggressive person. In fact, that's what you need to do with this particular communication style. To show assertiveness, to help with the conflict, it really is about standing your ground. Just because with a person who uses aggressive communication style, they are attacking you. So think about that bully. In school, there's that bully. There's that bully who's picking on the kids or whatever by the monkey bars. And, he keeps bullying them until that one day, this kid says, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to stand up for myself. Now, it may be that he does not get a lick on that other person. He does not land a punch on that other person. He gets more sand in his teeth and his head hits the monkey bars. It may end up that way. However, by standing up for yourself, by that kid choosing to stand up for yourself, it's actually, we're showing respect. I deserve to be respected. Okay? You're showing that, you know what? I'm not going to sit and allow you to treat me below my worthiness, So it may be also, you'll find by standing up to yourself with aggressive people, there's actually like this respect thing. They now respect you like, oh, so, okay, I see you. And who knows, maybe y'all BFFs. Anything can happen. All right. Now we're getting to the good stuff. We're getting into how can we use assertive communication when that other person chooses to use passive aggressive communication. This is a very tricky interaction. However, it is success. We can see success with this particular dialogue. To get into the mindset and to go back to the person who uses passive aggressive communication, again, it's a combination of both passive and aggressive. So we're dealing with feelings of insecurity, we're dealing with feelings of fear, we're dealing with feelings of resentment too, just because they are unable to express themselves like they want to. There's this fear that if they express themselves, it may have dire consequences. However, while they may not be direct in their in their anger, they are still getting that anger out indirectly. When it comes to that other person using passive aggressive, it is essential that we use all aspects of assertive communication when interacting with a person who uses passive aggressive communication. It is essential that we use I feel, I think statements. And I'm going to emphasize a lot of things. First, when it comes to this type of interaction, when the other person is choosing to use passive aggressive communication, it is very, very important not to react. It is one of the tactics and one of the tools that a person may use that's passive aggressive. Passive aggressive is they do a lot of indirect button pushing. They do a lot of triggering. They do a lot of subtle manipulation because they want to get that response out. They want to get that response out from you. In fact, they want you to react first so they feel justified by reacting. They have this anger and resentment on their hearts. However, they do not feel comfortable getting that out. So what they're going to try and do is trigger a response for you so they can be like, okay, now we can go. Let me get this out. And so although they are trying to get at that emotion, it's still unhealthy because they're using a form of negative influence. They're using manipulation. So it is very, very important that you remain assertive by being calm and collected and not react. Because once you react, you set off their justification to act the way they do. Not only that, but you affirm what they're trying to show. If they think that you're being mean, they're going to try and influence the situation so that you can react and show meanness or show unkindness so that they are like, see, this is what I'm talking about. So it's very, very important to not respond, to not go there. With the other communication styles, assertiveness can still be considered assertiveness. Like I said, a person who uses passive communication, they're going to love you because you're acknowledging them. The person who is using aggressive communication, the chances are they're going to respect you because you're standing your ground. The downside with passive aggressive communication is even though you use assertive communication, even though you stand your ground and you acknowledge their ground, they still may view your assertiveness as actually aggressiveness. And let's break that down. By standing your ground is where the threat comes in. They will be okay with you admitting to any kind of responsibility. So they actually prefer you say, you know what? This is my accountability. These are my thoughts. I own up to it. They will love that part. However, part of being assertive is you're also calling to the table and bringing to the table the things that they're doing. They're going to have an issue with that just because they feel justified to do what they do. Regardless of if it comes out attacking, they feel justified because, again, in their mind, they view themselves as a victim. And because they view themselves as a victim, they feel they had every right. They feel that is not attacking. They actually feel like I'm defending myself. And again, I want you to stress, if you are defending yourself, there's no punches out. If I'm defending myself, Wakanda forever. Y'all, Wakanda forever. If I am defending myself, I'm just blocking, right? I'm blocking. However, I'm actually attacking when I'm attacking you. I'm punching you. And the thing is, with passive aggressive communication, they see this but not understand they're still doing that. So when you're acknowledging that, you're saying, hey, you're doing that. See right there, you're doing that right there. They're going to take offense to that because they feel like you're actually attacking them. It's very, very important that you remain assertive in the sense that you remain firm. This is a point where we pull out pattern behaviors. Sometimes people who use passive aggressive communication, they don't know they're being passive. Sometimes we don't know, when we're using different styles, we don't know. We don't know we're being passive. We don't know we're being aggressive. We don't know, if we're being passive aggressive. So it's very, very important to pull out and keep it very, very factual. Keep it based on actions, okay? It's when they did this, when they said this, when you did this, Okay. And the reason why is because you're trying to connect, you're trying to stand up for yourself by saying, these are the things you did. I can't control you. I did not make you do that. These are the things that you did, so you should hold yourself accountable. It's very, very important to show there's a pattern. You know what? When we were in the car and I was trying to talk to you, you remained silent. And I knew you were angry. When I asked you were angry, you said, I'm fine, but you continue to remain silent. And you know what? I see that too when we were in the kitchen and we were washing dishes. You walked away when I was still talking to you. And you said, oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. So you're bringing up patterns so that you can say, you know what? This is the actions that you do. These are the things that you do, or these are the things you say. I feel certain ways when you do or say these, but these are pattern behaviors. The thing too you have to keep in mind with passive aggressive communication style is that person may not have known that they're doing this, but on the flip side, that person may know exactly what they're doing. When it comes to that, that's why it's so important to remain firm and direct and keep it factual. This is when emotions do not need to come in. This is when we present evidence. Okay, we present evidence. This is exhibit A, exhibit B, and again, you're not attacking them. You're just saying, you know what, I'm seeing a pattern here. You know, so it's very important that you're very specific. It's very important that you keep it action oriented. The things that is observable. Be direct. And again, direct does not mean attacking. Direct just means transparent. Be direct and be firm. Do not waver just because, again, we're dealing with certain types of manipulation. The goal at the end of the day, they may want to influence you or sway you. They may do it by gaslighting, which is making you question yourself. So it's very important to be firm. If they make a joke at your expense, this is a perfect opportunity to say, you know what? I didn't think that was a good joke. I actually take offense to that joke because I feel like you're taking a dig at me. My thought is you're taking a dig at me. And they may say, no, I didn't mean it like that. This is where we encourage transparency. So we're leading by example, being transparent and encouraging transparency. This is a prime time when we say, oh, well, what did you mean? And you're asking them for clarification. Again, sometimes people don't know if they're being passive aggressive. Maybe it came out wrong. So you're giving them the opportunity to clarify. Again, it's all about the dialogue. We're trying to understand. We're trying to show compassion and empathy. We're trying to connect. So this question, well, oh, so what did you mean? Or can you elaborate then? Because I'm kind of confused. This is how I felt, and this is what I thought. But please, would you mind sharing what you meant by that? Is giving them an opportunity to be open. If they are intentionally being passive aggressive or using passive aggressive communication style, this is a great way to encourage accountability. When we're asking for that person to explain, keep asking that person for clarification, because you really are trying to understand. When we're dealing with passive aggressive communication, it's a lot of vagueness. It's a lot of gray areas, just because this gives that person an opportunity to back out. The thing is, we all know accountability actually helps to promote growth, clarity. It actually helps to promote, healthy self-regard. And so we're encouraging that person to be specific and share. You know what? If that's not what you meant, please share. I'm curious. Can you share what you meant and leave it open? And if you find that they may deflect, meaning they may bounce around, always bring them back to the question. If you find that they may deflect by putting it on you, which is sometimes we will see with the passive aggressive communication style, is they will skip over what they're doing and it goes back to you. What I strongly encourage is to, one, listen to them. If they are putting it back and saying, well, this is what you're doing, we can be assertive. We can be humble, because we know that, you know what, at the end of the day, I still have a right to think and feel the way I do. But we do want to encourage them to express themselves. So listen, you're actually leading by example. You're showing that, you know what, it's okay to express yourself. And you know what, it's okay to listen. Listening goes both ways, but it's okay to listen. And so let them let them, share and explain. However, bring it on back. Bring it back to what they did, what they said. Okay. At the end of the day, if they refuse, if they don't see that type of connection, that's on them. The beauty about assertiveness is that at the end of the day, we're still getting our needs met. We're still expressing ourselves. If they choose not to do the same, that's their accountability. So again, there's no shame. We all use these communicate a combination of these communication styles. The goal is to be assertive. The goal is to acknowledge that, you know what, you're worthy to express yourself. You're worthy to have your feelings and thoughts validated, regardless if someone agrees with them or not. You have a right to be heard, and they have that right too. That's the beauty of this. They have that same exact right. When it comes to assertiveness, you may find that you are actually leading by example. So look for opportunities where you can show this is what assertiveness looks like. Because at the end of the day, again, assertiveness helps to build self-confidence, and we all deserve to have self-confidence. And so being assertive means that we're encouraging that person. We can use opportunities to build that person up. This is a great opportunity to uplift, to edify, to esteem that person. We're assertive. We have confidence. It's not arrogance. We have confidence, and everybody deserves to be confident. So yes. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please feel free, if you have any questions for me, please head over to my website, which is www.thecnnash.com. That's THECNNASH.com. And on my contact me page, leave a comment, drop a line, drop a question, give me feedback. I hope you guys enjoy. May is all about mental health. Before we can show compassion to those who we may not necessarily get, we need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to look for ways that we can show compassion and empathy. We all deserve to be heard. We all deserve to be validated. We all deserve to know at the end of the day, we matter. We matter. So I hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, God bless.